Next up, we have our final panel before lunch, Architects of the Future and Evolutionary Strategists, Thinking Differently About Solutions. I'm going to introduce Sandra Kwak. She is going to be our moderator, CEO and founder of 10 Power. They provide renewable energy internationally to communities that lack electricity. We also would like you to know that June 1st is World Selfie Day. So in honor of our millennial panel, we'll ask everybody to kind of get as close as you can to the stage for a quick team selfie.
Selfies for everyone! Are y'all ready to have some fun? We're going to be discussing architecting the future and regenerative solutions. So I'm thrilled to be introducing the rest of this rockstar panel. To my left is Katie Hoffman, who is running ResCo Inc., which is shifting billions of dollars towards solutions for climate change. And she has also helped orchestrate triple bottom line real estate projects. Here we have Jackie Francis, who has worked with the Smithsonian Science Education Center and is the founder of the Keeling Curve Prize, which is recognizing some of the world's most cutting-edge solutions for cost-effectively reducing carbon dioxide emissions. And here we have Vasser Seydel, who is a recent graduate of UGA. She has interned with the UN Foundation and TED Women, and she's currently the president of Third Generation Turner Foundation Board. Do y'all know where the clicker is?
Great question. We lost it in the selfie process. I know. The dangers of taking too many selfies.
Thank you so much. So to kick us off, I'm going to couch us a little bit in a framework that I talked about in my TEDx talk, Fourth World Nation Building. So people around the world currently are living without access to resources. There are currently 1.2 billion people, about 16% of humanity on the planet, that don't have electricity, which is one of the most fundamental building blocks for development. And those people around the planet have goals and aspirations, just like you and me. They want better lives for themselves and for their families. But if all 7.6 billion humans on the planet are aspiring to have an American's footprint, the entire population would require 5 planet Earths. And there's only one planet Earth. There's no planet B. Over the next 15 years, 12 years now, energy usage across the planet is going to increase by 150%. Now, where is that energy usage coming from? Thanks to standards like CARB and energy efficiency, we're seeing energy increases slowing down in OECD nations. But the lion's share of that electricity is going to be coming from non-OECD nations. So we're currently standing at a crossroads where that electricity growth can either come from renewables or it can come from fossil fuels, which is really going to put us past the tipping point. So I propose that development is going backwards. Instead of everyone aspiring to be first world, because what comes after first? 0th world? We should actually flip the script. And just like technology, we should be moving towards fourth world, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0. What does the fourth world look like? Well, we already have some great principles that the World Economic Forum has published in their paper, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, which includes data informatics, artificial intelligence, AR/VR, renewable energy, net zero energy buildings. We're already pioneering these solutions. I would like to take that a step further and say it's not just about looking to the future. It's about utilizing forward-looking technology as well as reaching into our past and looking to the indigenous cultures who lived on this planet for tens of thousands of years without compromising the sustainability of our ecosystems to support life. And we've destroyed all that in the last couple of hundred years. So Fourth World encompasses all of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. And today we're going to be discussing really exciting solutions that we've come across in our work. And just to save time, I'm going to go first with my company 10 Power, since I already have the clicker. And 10 Power is a company that's bringing renewable energy to people around the planet who don't have access to electricity today. And we're doing that through 2 simple mechanisms, finance and project developments. We see renewable energy as the building block that supports access to every single other aspect of modernization, from life-supporting clean water to gender empowerment and access to global markets. Now, if you look at a map of energy poverty, what's interesting about the most energy-poor places on the planet is that they are actually the places with the highest solar irradiance. We're sitting on one of the biggest business opportunities of all time. TenPower has put solar on water purification facilities in Haiti that are providing clean drinking water to surrounding communities. We're currently working on a very exciting project with a global children's organization, and this is really going to be a landmark case for the planet. This is one of the first projects that's really helping this organization to walk the walk and achieving multiple UN Sustainable Development Goals at a time. And I'm really thrilled to share some footage. One of my Haitian employees put this together. So this is just in from yesterday. We have a little drone that's flying over the project site on a daily basis. So we're doing solar, 130 kilowatts, energy storage. We'll be using lithium ferrophosphate batteries. And we work with local installers, provide the project development, which includes engineering, codes and standards, the finance so that customers can pay back over time, and then we provide operations and maintenance for the solutions. Now, Haiti is a market with incredible potential, and we really see the opportunity for them to be a fourth world example. So TenPower is currently raising $11 million, and please take a picture of my contact information or catch up with me later if you know anyone who'd be interested in joining the revolution. Thank you.
Wonderful. So we're just going to show a quick video, and then we'll have a little conversation about it.
The dream was to find a space that can house community. My name is Leela Gorin. I'm a real estate developer. Real estate development is an opportunity to create change.
What we do at the Leela Gorin Group is we really think about a community of people that we want to serve, and we serve them through changes to the built environment.
We are in the Glenwood Power Plant, and we're converting this magnificent space into a flex event space for performances, exhibitions.
It was built in 1907 to electrify Grand Central. Imagine taking a place that was called the Gates of Hell and converting it into a cultural anchor that the community can actually be very proud of.
I worked on managing and overseeing a lot of large-scale public-private real estate. I've never come in contact with a developer who actually really believed in giving back.
One of Leela's main goals is to better the world through what she's doing.
We wanted to develop a women's building that would nurture activists. If I get a call and they tell me the women's former prison is for sale, to transform a former women's prison into a home for women activists is something that's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Everything that we're doing on the development side with the architects and with the engineers, with the contractors, has a direct relationship with and the input that we get from the community.
With the women's building and the power plant will serve as examples of how developers can both make a profit and create social change.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, my name's Katie. I spoke this morning a little bit about broad strokes and millennials, generational change, and how we build community. So you just saw a video with one of our partners, the Leela Gorin Group, and when I met Leela a couple years ago, so to take two steps back, I work in the financial sector, looking for scalable investment opportunities that are going to solve some of the world's most pressing challenges. And one of the things I'm always looking for is partners that are going to actually walk the walk. And when I met Leela, I realized that I had a partner in her. To buy the former power plant that used to electrify Grand Central and transform it into an engine of regenerative economic growth, that's not something that a lot of real estate developers do, particularly in New York City. And I really do believe we're looking at, I think the number is a $13 trillion opportunity for addressing the Paris Accord. And these are the types of models where we can really roll up our sleeves and build something new for the next generations. And I think every single woman on this panel is doing incredible work. And my whole goal in my career and which blends into my personal life, of course, but is to really scale capital solutions and structure innovative financial mechanisms so that we can make projects like the power plant viable for 200 years in the future. We don't need to just create coal jobs anymore. That plant only hired 6 people to operate it. We're going to create hundreds of jobs in Yonkers with that plant, and we're going to have communities like AREDAY, hopefully, within that space, creating that ecosystem, and that's really what, in my mind, real estate development is about. And then the magic is how you match the returns, and I think that that's quite viable in this economy.
Thanks, Kitty.
All right, my turn?
Yeah, Jackie, you want to take it from here?
Fantastic work, both of you guys. This is unbelievable. I'm honored to be on the stage with these young people who I clearly feel I'm sort of passing the torch on to. You guys now need to freaking get it done. So my name's Jackie Francis, and I run something called the Keeling Curve Prize. And I'm going to put on my old lady glasses for a second. So our mission is to recognize the most promising projects that either effectively reduce greenhouse gas emissions or increase carbon uptake. And we are rewarding leaders with needed financial resources and global visibility so that they can realize their visions. And I have a quick video that's a world premiere. Our winners are going to be announced a week from tomorrow. And we are doing videos of our finalists. And this particular video is, I just got it yesterday, and I've seen it once. And it is our distributed generation decentralized energy category. So if you guys can run that.
In Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and India, TIST has been helping farmers fight poverty, famine, land degradation, and climate change.
5 years ago, my co-founding team and I came across thousands of families living in shanty slums in India's major cities, and they were still burning kerosene lamps at home. It releases black carbon emissions, which are known to be the second worst contributor to man-made climate change.
Natel Energy is a water and energy innovation company based in Alameda, California, working to decarbonize our grid. Natel's hydropower systems produce clean, flexible, reliable, and sustainable energy from low drops without needing to build big dams. This in turn helps integrate more intermittent renewables like wind and solar on the grid.
I am Clifford Okoth, co-founder of Chemolex Company. We are a Kenyan company that aims to eliminate the use of firewood and charcoal in the Kenyan off-grid households that currently emits 3.5 metric tons of carbon dioxide annually.
Novosolix is a privately held startup in Silicon Valley, California. We're growing arrays of carbon nanotube antennas to cleanly capture and rectify the full spectrum of sunlight into electricity. Our arrays will replace over 3.5 metric megatons of generated CO2 over 5 years, which is equivalent to 700,000 car years. We expect to replace over 6 billion metric tons of oil per year by 2050.
In the next 5 years, TIST will reach nearly 200,000 farmers, sequestering over 5 million tons of CO2, offsetting annual emissions from about 1.1 million vehicles.
In the next 5 years, we aim to supply clean biofuel to 600,000 households.
Success at the Namibia project will lead to a combined 60 megawatts in Myanmar and India over the next 5 years. That will mitigate about 260 kilotons of CO2 emissions annually, which is equivalent to taking 170,000 vehicles off the road.
We've set up a network of sales agents called our pollinators who go door to door, helping families transition from kerosene to high-quality solar lights on affordable payment plans. Each family that buys a light has clean, reliable, affordable light in their home every day. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens could change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has.
So our 10 winners will each receive $25,000, but a bigger part of this prize is the visibility and the cartel that we're trying to create that will take them to the next level to get over this valley of death that we all see in developing our projects. And if anybody wants to get involved, Bobby Dunphy is my cartel collector. And we really would like to see all of you guys become partners in this program. Thanks.
Okay, so it's my turn. So I first want to ask or thank Sally, wherever she is, for asking me to be on this panel today and providing a foundation perspective to the panel. But it's going to be a little bit different because my foundation perspective that I will bring today is the third generation, the children, my cousins, and what we bring to the foundation. And that's often overlooked, but we're changing that. And some other family foundations are also pioneering this way of creating a third generation family foundation. So like we said earlier, I am the president of the Turner Third Generation Foundation Board. And what we really set out to do first was we hail from this amazing man named Ted Turner. And so it's really, thank you. So it's really no surprise when you have a bunch of 7-year-olds and a bunch of cousins running around with a philanthropic mindset and understanding the big challenges we face specifically for our generations and even our younger cousins who are 5 and 4, and really wanting to do something about that. But the problem is a lot of family foundations, you have to wait until you're 21 to start getting into a process of just seeing what the inside of that boardroom looks like, and then you're 25 once you're on the board. And today, the sign of the times is you're not waiting till you're 25 to do something about climate change, or you're not waiting till you're 25 to do something about racial injustice or any of these issues, gun control. We're all seeing that in the news today, and that's really something that we've adopted in our family foundation. So our cousins got together with the staff. We told them that we really wanted to start getting engaged, and in a different way than our parents have been able to, because we're young, and especially I'm graduated from college, so, but a lot of my cousins, I'm the second oldest cousin, a lot of them are still in high school and middle school, and they have the time, and they also have the capacity to really get hands-on with these issues. So we decided that we wanted to take our funding a little bit different, and we wanted to take our grants and keep them central to where we are from. We're from all over the United States. So we wanted to do this so that we could be hands-on with our grants and really see where money is going. So we think that this is the sign of the times where philanthropy can change, where it's not just putting money where your mouth is, but also putting your time and your effort where your mouth is as well. So we really have pioneered, and we're in the first year of creating this third generation board. So it's been quite a process because we didn't really know what that looks like. And we're really trying to make a roadmap for future families to do this as well. So when we first decided we wanted to do this, we sat down and we started with writing our values down. And each of us, actually the staff really was, and our family was maybe a little concerned. They're like, oh, all these millennials and Gen Zs, what are they gonna do? We don't wanna derail our family foundation. But once we started going through it, the staff and our family realized we have the same values, and we really want to carry on our family's legacy and conservation, but we also want to bring our new ideas and like social media, new ways to crowdfund, and also this systems perspective, which systems perspectives and systems thinking isn't new, but it really is something that we wanted to highlight because there's so many of these issues and so many thinkers trying to solve these issues in silos, and that's not the way that we're going to be able to really make change. And so we want to do it and take on these big challenges as one systems thinking. So, and we also want to involve the really little ones because we want them to realize that we don't only have an opportunity to get involved and to be able to create solutions and really put money behind good solutions, but we have a responsibility to do so as well. So we run little programs with the little ones in our family, and we do things like stream restoration, and we just kind of introduce the ideas that and the responsibility of what it means to be in this family and what it means to really be stewards of the earth. So that is our family foundation, the T3G. We will be having our first retreat this summer, so this will be our first board meeting, and we're going to reflect on what we've done. We're going to be looking at our grants, our first grants that we'll be making, and looking at them in ways that we can not only, like I was saying earlier, put money where our mouth is, but also put our time and effort and really understand and explore these passions and help develop them to make a difference for this world as soon as we can.
Yeah, incredible work. The future looks bright ahead, right? So we're going to flip it a little bit and, give it up for Vasser. The amazing work she's doing in the world. We are going to take 3 popcorn ideas around what the audience wants to talk about before we dive into conversation. So y'all feel free to pop your hands up around things that you're interested in discussing. We'll take 3. First one over here. And we'll take 3 in a row. So we got 2 more people. Hands up. Go ahead, Amanda.
Love to know what inspired you to get to where you are and how you're going to involve others on the remainder of your journeys.
Great. Okay, so let's dive into that, and let's weave together a little bit of a story about our journeys as well.
I'm happy to start briefly. I spoke a little bit about this morning, but I actually was on the path to either go into corporate America, in a kind of mid-level tech job, and or do law school, which I was totally prepared to do. And then my mom got sick, and taking care of someone when their body is shutting down and there's cancer, it sparked something deep within me to try and get to the bottom of what was causing that cancer. And that actually took me on a journey to understand pollution and the environment and what was going on around us. And it completely changed my world. So it went from the family to really understanding that we're in a system that's not just making us sick, but it's making future generations sick. And I wasn't willing to stand by and not do anything. And my lever was finance because, as everybody says, follow the money, right? So how do we shift the capital necessary so we're not just talking about it, we're doing it? And that was kind of my entry point.
I had kids, and I went to the State of the World conference that John McBride used to have, the Soper's Foundation. And I got inspired, and then I co-founded AREDAY with Chip. And then I ran the Aspen Science Center. And now I'm getting a master's in energy policy and climate science from Johns Hopkins. And all those things came together and just said, this is the most important thing you could do with your life.
I think for me it goes all the way back, and this will come as no surprise, but to when I was born and the family I was born in. From an early age, I knew that too much is given, much is expected. And honestly, from a foundation perspective, we knew that we wanted to do more, and this is a way that we could do more, and we could do more now. And where I hope to take this as a model, not only into other family foundations, but I've already talked to some nonprofit foundations that want to incorporate some more millennial thinking, and hopefully even the corporate world, because millennials are not afraid to speak their mind. And I think that we can make a big difference in that boardroom. And also we have the biggest, people say women have the biggest purchasing power, but millennials are spending more money, maybe women millennials, so let's get some women millennials in boardrooms. But, and then besides foundations, I'm on my own path. I just graduated from college, and you can kind of see this stewardship is more of a lifestyle than a choice. And so I don't know exactly where I'm going to go with that to answer your question, but hopefully I can be as amazing as these three women one day. So.
Oh, shucks. I feel like I was put on this earth at this moment in time to reverse climate change. I was born in Texas. Neither of my parents are necessarily environmentalists. Made them start a compost pile when I was about 5. Found this book called 50 Ways You Can Help the Earth when I was in 4th grade, and read about climate change, and it struck me like Roy Anderson's spear, like through the chest. I was like, I have to tell everyone about this, and I dressed up as a scientist, like put cotton balls on my face because scientists are old white men, and like went and told my entire school about climate change, and it's really been my journey since I was a little girl. So I've been in energy for about 10 years and found myself in Silicon Valley doing big data for the smart grid. And while it was super exciting running the largest residential demand response program in the United States, we were saving about 20 megawatts per click. I felt like I was not achieving my fullest potential. And looking at the billions of people around the world who are not able to achieve their highest potential, when we have all of this technology and all of these resources at our fingertip, I was motivated to leave and start 10 Power. To spread that wealth of knowledge around and to really carve a better path for humanity, which I hope that we're able to evolve into a regenerative future collectively, and bring together some more intersectional voices to the conversation. So I'd like to take everybody into a little meditation around thinking about one person that you want to bring into our day from outside of the choir. So whether that be reaching across the aisle and finding somebody from like my home state, Texas, or whether it be bringing in a person of color who you haven't seen represented in this conversation who should be here, and think about who you're going to invite next year into this conversation. And with our last minute and 30 seconds, I would like everybody also to think about one action item that you are going to take in architecting a regenerative fourth world future from this conference, from this discussion, and out into the world. And take this last minute and a half to turn to somebody next to you, introduce yourself. And I really love the accountability buddy system, where you exchange contact information and set a date in the future that you're going to check in on each other.
Have you check in with Tissue?
We'll all have to check in with each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. We can do that.
Yeah, that's easy. We should make sure to announce before the end.
All right, we're going to bring everybody back home. Thank you. Let's keep these conversations going over lunch. And we'll just do rapid fire takeaways. You want to kick us off, Jackie?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to, these guys reminded me that I didn't tell you that June 29th, 5 to 7 is our award ceremony at the Hotel Jerome. Brand new Aspen Times room. It'll be the first event in that room. So if you want to come and you're in town, please do.
My last thing to say is that I am sitting as a trustee at AREI, and all of you in this community make AREI what it is. And like I said this morning in my speech, it's all about community. So please approach me if you have ideas, thoughts. We want to make sure that this organization is continuing to do what it's done for so many years and bringing new voices into the equation.
Mine, I guess, would be young people aren't experts, and we shouldn't pretend to be, but so lend your expertise to young people. They have the energy, and they have the motivation, they have the capacity through social media and other avenues to make big waves of change. So lend your voice and lend your mentorship to young people and help them amplify their voices and really get solutions done. So thank you.
All right, and come talk to me about 10 Power. We're building a regenerative future together. Thank you.